Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. 90 Day Fiancé. Why fans think Bilal is the scariest cast member? 90 Day Fiancé star Bilal Aziz has been documenting the pregnancy of his wife, Shida Sween, over the past few weeks. The two are expecting their first child. It's also been an emotional journey for the married couple after going through multiple miscarriages. But despite all the positivity, some Redditors can't help but express how scared they are of Bilal. Keep reading to see why. Last August, Shida announced she was expecting her first child with Bilal. The 90 Day Fiancé stars later revealed they're expecting a baby boy. Since then, Shida has been uploading photos featuring her baby bump. Many fans are also glad that her pregnancy has been going healthy following her heartbreaking miscarriages. The married couple has yet to share if they've already come up with the name for their first child. Some Redditors discussed why they're terrified of Bilal Aziz. According to the poster, the 90 Day Fiancé star has gone down the franchise's history as one of the most scary cast members. They recalled that he was visibly narcissistic and openly dismissed Shida's needs and well-being. The OP also believes Bilal has a severe God complex, and they don't understand how Shida can stand him. Others agreed and recalled some of his most controversial moments. 100%. He's been the scariest one on the show in my opinion. The way he had this calm front but was clearly seething inside. It definitely also triggered something in me, reminding me of so many scary abusive men I've known in my life. Oh yeah, he's one of the absolute worst. It made me really sad when Shida started to change and become submissive to him. He scared me too. Also his ex-wife was weird attacking Shida. And he did nothing. He's got P. Diddy vibes. He drives everyone crazy. Just agreed with the FBUTA that said that probably Shai was just struggling with her age. Despite all the criticism, Bilal and Shida Sween are still going strong behind the cameras. Bilal recently took to Instagram to share one of his latest activities with his pregnant wife. The 90 Day Fiancé stars have been actively endorsing a fast food restaurant amid their support for the Chiefs. According to Bilal Aziz, they always like ordering pizza when watching their favorite team's games. The reality TV personalities have also been making silly skits on social media, shutting down rumors that they've been struggling. 90 Day Fiancé has had its fair share of intriguing, contentious, and downright shocking cast members over the years. From cultural clashes to emotional roller coasters, each couple brings something unique to the table. However, when it comes to fan perceptions, few individuals have garnered as much attention for their unsettling behavior as Bilal Aziz, one of the most polarizing figures on the show. While Bilal may not be the villainous character many assume he is, a closer examination of his actions and relationships reveals why some fans think he's one of the scariest cast members to ever appear on 90 Day Fiancé. The masked reality, a complex persona. At first glance, Bilal presents himself as a charming, successful businessman, confident, well-spoken, and seemingly well-mannered. He prides himself on his appearance, frequently sporting high-end suits, a pristine beard, and a carefully manicured image. His self-assuredness and quick wit make him come across as someone who has control over every situation, including his relationships. Bilal's persona is perfectly curated, and that's where the intrigue starts to grow. His calculated nature and frequent use of psychological tactics often raise alarm bells for some viewers. His almost too perfect presentation of wealth, success, and a composed demeanor often feels like a front, giving him an air of emotional coldness or detachment. Some fans find this detachment unsettling, questioning whether he is hiding a darker side behind the polished mask. The precarious relationship with Shida. Bilal's relationship with Shida Sween, his wife from Trinidad and Tobago, has been a significant point of tension throughout their journey on 90 Day Fiancé. The two initially met online, and although Shida moved to the US to be with Bilal, their journey has been fraught with emotional manipulation and power struggles. One of the most notable moments that stuck with fans was Bilal's treatment of Shida during their early days together. Before meeting her in person, Bilal decided to prank Shida with a test that involved presenting her with a rundown, unkempt house, questioning whether she would still love him if he were poor or didn't he have the luxurious lifestyle he's accustomed to. This test, which was meant to gauge her sincerity, came across as controlling and manipulative. Fans were horrified at the lack of empathy Bilal showed toward his future wife, reducing her to an experiment. The prank was not just about materialism, it was also an indication of how Bilal viewed relationships. He placed himself in the position of power, testing his partner to see if she would pass his standards of loyalty. Fans were quick to point out that this type of behavior sets an unhealthy dynamic in any relationship, particularly one that is still in the early stages. But that wasn't the only instance where Bilal's actions raised red flags. Later, when the couple navigated cultural differences, Bilal frequently belittled Shida's desires and dreams, often dismissing her aspirations and trying to control how she would live her life in America. For example, he made it clear that he would not accept her starting a yoga studio unless she agreed to abide by his rigid rules. This controlling nature, masked as concern or protection, gave the impression that Bilal was more interested in having someone who would conform to his vision of an ideal life rather than embracing his partner's individuality. Gaslighting and emotional manipulation. Another key reason why Bilal is seen as the scariest cast member is the emotional manipulation he employs throughout his relationship with Shida. One of the hallmarks of gaslighting, a form of psychological manipulation, can be seen in Bilal's actions when he downplays his behavior, making Shida question her own reactions and emotions. For example, Bilal has a tendency to minimize the emotional weight of situations. When Shida expresses her frustration or hurt, Bilal quickly shifts the narrative, suggesting that her feelings are exaggerated or unfounded. He frequently invalidates her concerns, making her feel as though her instincts and emotions are out of place. Fans have pointed out that this tactic can be a hallmark of emotional abuse, with Bilal painting himself as the calm, rational one and casting Shida as overreacting. This dynamic of emotional manipulation gives Bilal a distinct air of danger because it places Shida in a perpetual state of self-doubt. While he may never raise his voice or physically harm anyone, his psychological tactics are just as harmful, leaving his partner in a vulnerable position where her autonomy and self-worth can be eroded over time. The fear of control and possessiveness. Bilal's pattern of controlling behavior extends beyond his treatment of Shida. He has also demonstrated an obsessive need for control over their daily lives. Whether it's choosing where they live, how they spend their time, or even their finances, Bilal has shown that he values control over the relationship more than compromise or equality. This control often crosses the line into possessiveness. One of the scariest aspects of Bilal's character is his insistence on maintaining power in the relationship. His controlling nature appears to stem from a deep fear of being vulnerable or losing his grip on the situation. This fear manifests in frequent comments that feel less like guidance and more like strict directives. For example, he once suggested that Shida needed to make sure she earned her place in the relationship through her actions, once again framing her as someone who must meet his standards before she can truly belong. This demand for control creates an atmosphere of fear and uncertainty. For Shida, and for fans watching the relationship unfold, Bilal's behavior evokes a sense of impending doom, like a ticking time bomb waiting to go off. The fear that Shida could lose her autonomy or be forced into an unhealthy situation looms large, and it's easy to understand why viewers might label Bilal as scary. The mask slips. As the show progresses, fans have started to notice subtle signs of Bilal's darker side. He sometimes lets slip moments of arrogance and condescension that hint at a more deeply ingrained sense of entitlement. His treatment of others, particularly Shida, often reveals an underlying belief that he is always in the right and that others need to conform to his worldview. In private moments, the cracks in Bilal's perfect image start to show. His sarcastic remarks, passive-aggressive behavior, and inability to genuinely empathize with his partner add to the unease. Fans don't just see him as a controlling figure, they begin to perceive him as someone who is willing to go to great lengths to preserve his sense of power, even if it means manipulating or emotionally hurting others in the process. The conclusion: a cautionary tale. Bilal's role in 90 Day Fiancé is not just that of a fiancé or husband, he represents a certain type of psychological manipulation that many fans find unnerving. His actions reveal a dark undercurrent of possessiveness, control, and emotional manipulation that ultimately makes him one of the most scary cast members to ever appear on the show. While Bilal may not be overtly violent or overtly malicious in a traditional sense, his ability to manipulate emotions, set unhealthy boundaries, and dismiss his partner's needs creates a toxic atmosphere. It's a reminder of how power dynamics in relationships, when left unchecked, can spiral into emotional abuse. For some, this is far scarier than any overt villainy. Fans of 90 Day Fiancé are left questioning, what happens when a partner uses charm, intelligence, and control to create fear and uncertainty in a relationship? In the case of Bilal Aziz, it's a cautionary tale that haunts viewers long after the cameras stop rolling.